payments, cash disbursements, and EFTPS payments.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Warren, second by Commissioner Jean Greco to make the cash payments and EFTPS payments. Questions or comments? All in favor?
Aye.
So carried.
Motion to approve item number 6 as listed on the agenda.
I'll second that.
Motion by Commissioner Jean Greco, second by Commissioner Warren to approve the following seminar requests and payments for seminar requests as stated in item 6. Questions or comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Carried.
I'll make a motion to approve item number 7 as listed on your agenda.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Warren, second by Commissioner Jean Greco to accept with regret the resignation of Northern Interior Regional Planning and Development Commission Economic Development Advisory Committee member Jack Taylor effective July 1st. Questions or comments? All in favor?
Aye.
So carried.
Motion to approve item number 8 as listed on the agenda.
I'll second it, but I have a question. The last line, 32.5 hours increase in hours by President Judge rule allotted 37.5 per week through March 6, 2012.
It's 2013. Sorry.
If Michael would amend it, change it.
Yeah, I'll amend the motion
I'll
to
second it,
that
with that
correction.
change, okay.
Okay, and motion by Commissioner Jean Greco, second by Commissioner Warren, changing the motion to change it to 2013 instead of 2012. Questions or comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion to approve. Aye.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Item 9.
Go ahead, Commissioner.
I'll make a motion to approve item number 9 as listed on your agenda.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Warren, second by Commissioner Jean Greco to accept with regret from Susan Edelston, Proprietary Clerk of Courts, resignation of Susan Stout. Questions or comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. So carried. Item 10.
Motion to approve item number 10 as listed on the agenda.
I'll second that.
Motion by Commissioner Jean Greco, second by Commissioner Warren, to approve item 10 to accept the regret the resignation of Charlene Mosier, Emergency Management, effective August 1st. Questions or comments?
I'd like to know, why is Charlene resigning?
She didn't give a reason. You'd have to ask her.
And who's the replacement? Do you have a replacement?
Well, we have to advertise and go through a selection process. Any other questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Carried. Item 11.
I'll make a motion to approve item number 11 as listed on your agenda.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Warren, second by Commissioner Jean Greco to accept with regret the retirement resignation of Susan Adamick from Children and Youth, effective January 7th, 2013. Questions or comments? All in favor?
Aye.
So carried. Item 12.
Motion to approve item number 12 is listed on the agenda.
I'll second that.
Motion by Commissioner Jean Greco, second by Commissioner Warren to approve the purchase service agreement between Susquehanna County Services and Children and Youth and NHS Youth Services in Harrisburg. Questions or comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Item 13.
I'll make a motion to approve item number 13 as listed on your agenda.
Second.
Item 13, motion by Commissioner Warren, second by Commissioner Jean Greco to authorize to sign the purchase service agreement between Susquehanna County Services and Children and Youth and Youth Services Agency of PA York. Questions or comments? All in favor?
Aye.
So carried. Item 14.
Motion to approve item number 14 is listed on the agenda.
I'll second that.
Motion by Commissioner Jean Greco, second by Commissioner Warren, to approve the independent contract agreement between Susquehanna County and Jonathan Allen, DBA Ben here, and their computer systems. Questions or comments? Yes, Kathy?
Is there gonna be more people?
Yes, he
With
has,
him?
he has more staff
He
than
has
what
staff
is
that
currently
he's
here,
gonna.
yes.
Okay, because that's what we need.
Yep.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Roll call, or all in favor?
Aye.
I make a motion to approve item number 15 as listed on your agenda.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Warren, second by Commissioner Jean Greco, to approve item 15, to exonerate tax claim bureau from collecting delinquent taxes on the listed properties. Questions or comments? All in favor?
Aye.
So carried. This time we have public comment. Comment from the public?
I have a question.
Stacy had a hand up first, I think.
Last week, 2 weeks ago, somebody was at the meeting and asked specifically about any notification services available for emergency situations in the county. And no commissioner brought up the fact, that we got a flyer on this week. Is there a reason that wasn't told to her 2 weeks ago?
I think it was an oversight. One thing I do want to mention too, that when people are using this, they need to make sure when they're typing in the email address or the server address that they don't put www. You just have to put in the susco.alertpa.org. If you put the www, it doesn't go to the server. It'll have a failure. And this does work very well. I have it set up on my phone. I'm getting all the alerts for the thunderstorms and everything else that's going on.
So how does it actually work? Can you explain it?
Yeah, what it is through the service, like on my phone, I get a email, plus I get a text message, like the severe thunderstorms we've had this last week. It actually it ties in with the National Weather Service and tells you, where the storm is, where it's moving, what areas are in danger, so it gives you all the alerts. And depending on where you live, I mean, when you set this up and go in and set this up, it lists all the different counties or all the different townships and boroughs, and you can select which ones that you want to take and be notified any alerts in.
So does that include if there's any explosions in gas compressor stations?
Yes.
Any leaks in pipelines,
If you-
if
if
there's
you
any
want-
explosions, they will notify us?
What it says is if there's any emergencies that are deemed an emergency, then it notify you if you're on that service and you click for that service. So, I would suggest take one and look at it. You can look at the service and see what it offers, but it's a pretty good service. Any other questions? Yes, Jim?
Two things. One is, can we have an update on where we're at from the last meeting with 4-H and Extension, if we know anything?
Yeah, there's a meeting scheduled with 4-H, and we're waiting for that meeting to see what Penn State brings to the table. So,
Okay.
When is that meeting scheduled for?
beginning of August.
It's actually not with 4-H, it's with
Well, it's
Penn
with
State
Penn State
senior
Extension.
leadership regarding.
Right.
The other thing is it seems to be, maybe this is the season, I'm not around that much here, I haven't been, but it seems like we have an awful lot of resignations going on. And that's concerning to a lot of people. And I guess that's a comment, I don't know whether you can respond to that or not, but there seems to be a lot of positions becoming open for some reason.
Well, I can't answer on some of them. I know one of them was a retirement. She's got her years of service in, she's retiring. She's given us lots of notice. I know another position, was opportunity to get something better. So that person is resigning. It's a mixed bag as to why people are leaving. I mean, it's no secret that, if you look at the county payroll and what people get paid at the county level, even though the benefits are pretty good and the pension's great, that the salary is not comparable to what you can make in the private sector. So people that, you know, and it's not uncommon for people, especially, we see it all the time at the jail, where they come in, they get a few years in, they get their training, and then they can move on and go into, you know, either a state level position or a federal level position. So it's kind of like a training ground that we have.
Is anyone doing exit interviews to see just why they are leaving?
To my knowledge, no, I'm not doing it. I don't think Chief Clerk's doing it.
They are allowed to have an exit interview if they want one,
Right.
absolutely.
Because I'm very concerned about Charlene Moser's resignation. I know the family, they eat, breathe, live emergency management, the whole family has, and that's a great loss to the county with her resignation. And I know that, when I was in the county office building, her nose was always to the grindstone working, and it's going to be very difficult for the county to replace someone with that dedication.
And
And I would,
understand.
I mean, whether she wants I think somebody should interview her and see just what,
Well, I did talk to Charlene, but, you know, her reasons are personal. I'm not telling you what her reasons are for
oh,
leaving.
I know what they are.
Well, good for you. I met with Charlene, and she told me that she was going on to something that was gonna be bigger and better for her, and I respect that from her. So, that's the information I got when I talked to her. Any other comments? Yes.
My question was just on the minutes from last meeting. If you look at the third paragraph down where it begins with number 7, are we to assume that this motion was tabled? Is that the input of that? It doesn't say explicitly, but I think that's what you're putting across by that.
Yeah, motion, you know, right above it says motion by Commissioner Warren to table, motion, item 7, yeah.
Okay.
Any other questions, Stacy?
Also to your minutes, the last motion appointing Mr. Severpool as the Conservation District Director, Farm Director. The motion on the agenda read, the term expired December 31st, 2013. That, Mrs. Fallon corrected that and said, no, that term expires 2013, but there was never any move to correct that in the meeting by the commissioners. It passed as 2012. So when did the change take place?
Pauline did say it went through the 13th, I thought you changed it, I don't know. Perhaps
I
not.
thought I did as well. I
And the
thought I was
commissioner
corrected
said-
then.
We could watch it on
Then
YouTube
13.
and find out.
Good idea.
We'll suck on that. If it's wrong, we'll fix it. Any
Motion to
other?
adjourn?
Yes, I'd like to know from Mike, the solicitor that you have, is it Mr. Mayer? How do you pronounce that name?
Mar,
Mar. And is he an associate of your office?
I think I stated last time, he works in my office, yes, he does.
But is that considered an associate?
No, I'm not sure it is. No.
So wouldn't you consider, I would consider this maybe a conflict of interest. I mean, he's coming from your office. Can't you find another attorney that's not,
I didn't participate in his selection.
and wouldn't it still be considered a conflict of
No.
interest?
I don't believe it is,
You don't believe it?
no.
Any other questions?
In regards to Commissioner Jean Greco's last answer to that question, in an ad that you placed in April in the Mulligan, it's a full-page ad listing that he is an associate.
Okay, I said I didn't know. Is he an associate? If it was in the ad, then yes, I guess it could be considered everybody in my office as an associate.
Is that a legal definition?
Well, I don't know if it's a legal
I mean,
definition.
isn't an associate?
Well, I'm not gonna debate it with you. You
Oh,
can make
okay.
your comment.
Any other public comment? Yes.
I just have a question about Charlene Mosier's leaving, because she's leaving so soon. Do you have someone that's gonna step in and take her duties over until you find a permanent replacement?
Right, there is an assistant, she has an assistant
Okay.
there that is trained and will take over for the interim.
Okay.
And what is the assistant's name, please?
Paul's last name?
Johnson.
Paul Johnson.
Thank you.
Yes, Stacy.
Do the commissioners have a liaison to the library board?
There are two members of the board on the library that were appointed by commissioners back in, what?
A long time.
Year ago.
Like Toby?
Year ago.
Year ago. Toby is one of them, yes.
And with the recent limits put on commercial title researchers, access to the Historical Society, how do the commissioners, did the boards vote, the commissioner liaisons vote to limit the access for the commercial title researchers? Did that go with commissioner's blessing?
I don't know anything.
Want me to respond to that? I can.
Yeah, I guess Toby could respond to that.
In the first place, the two commissioner appointees are not liaisons as such. The law requires that at least two members of our board be appointed by the commissioners. But we are not representatives of the commissioners as such. Second place, the changes in the access to the Historical Society genealogical information have been required by the fact that we simply do not have personnel and equipment to support all of the demands that the gas industry is putting on our association. And if somebody can come up with a better solution than the one that we have instituted, I would be happy to consider it. It's a question of money, and we simply do not have the money to do everything we would like to do. And therefore, we have to restrict access to some of our equipment and our information. So it's a business decision, and it all comes down to money.
Now, do those researchers pay membership fees?
I can't answer that. It may be so, yes.
Yes.
Hi, I'm Susan Oliver with WPX Energy. We do have some of our folks who access the information at the Historical Society, and we do pay a fee. And we have been invited by the Historical Society to meet with them along with some of the other operators in the county to discuss the title research and the needs of the industry. So we'll be meeting with them.
Hopefully you get it all worked out. Any other public comment? Yes.
I'd like to say also that I researched WPX, and they have 20 pages of violations for the past 2 years on the DEP site, which is accessible by the public, and they're in our county drilling. And they're under investigation right now for 2 well sites, the Depew well and the Hollenbeck well, for violations of casings and for spills. And they've been under investigation since last year, and they're still under investigation. I'd like to know, why are we allowing this company to still operate in our county? Why are we welcoming them? Why are we allowing even someone like the representatives here of WPX to be in our county when they're under investigation? I feel I'm at risk. A number of us feel we're under risk. And I live in the area where they're drilling. So they're being allowed to move around this county and do whatever they want. When will you say something to protect us and to say that this company, like any other company, if they have 20 pages of violations and they're under investigation, that you might say something to protect us? Because I'm concerned for myself and my family, and we're on a lake and they're drilling now. They want to drill right above the lake, 2,500 feet from the lake. And I consider that totally unacceptable while they're under investigation for casing violations, not only in Franklin Township, but in Liberty Township. So they still haven't been able to get the casing issue under wrap. They haven't been able to figure out how to do a casing correctly without having leaks and migrations. And right now, we have a whole group of homes that are under migration of high explosive amounts of methane. And they're supplying water to 3 homes. So why are we allowing them in our county? Can you say anything about that?
I don't think we have any comment about that, but if WPX Energy there, in an effort of fairness, let them respond.
You know, Ms. Scroggins is entitled to her opinion, but she's not entitled to her facts. The facts are that we have been working with the DEP on an investigation that they started based upon allegations of 3 different homeowners. And in our results that we found with the testing with independent labs, that the isotopic chemical makeup of the methane in these 3 homes' water wells are the same kind of methane as at Salt Spring State Park and the methane that has been in that area since the 1700s. So we are working with the DEP on that. We have provided all those test results to the DEP. And the issues with the 2 wells that Ms. Scroggins is alleging has problems, we are working with the DEP on monitoring those. And so that is currently underway. But as far as our operations in the county, we are working within the parameters of the state requirements and the DEP requirements, along with what we know to be best practices. Our company has been in the business for a long time. We're operating throughout the United States, and we're fully aware of our responsibilities and our commitment to the environment, and we continue to maintain that commitment, along with our involvement and commitment to the community. You know, one of the things that we did recently was to work with the folks down in Franklin Forks when they wanted to reach out to one of the homeowners who is suffering from some major medical issues with a family member. And we helped them with a fundraiser down at Liberty Community Park. And we were able to help them raise over $6,000 towards that medical bills for that family. I didn't see Ms. Scroggins or any of her other folks who are so concerned about the people in Franklin Forks come to that fundraiser to help that family member. The other thing that we are working on is helping the Liberty Community Park with refurbishing of their park, because it is a very small park board. And so we've been helping them with that on volunteer time with our contractors and our folks, along with community members and the 4-H. So I'm very interested in hearing what happens with the 4-H, because we have been working with them, and we look forward to working with them again on other projects.
Thank you. Any other public comment?
Motion to adjourn?
Guys, any other-
Well, yeah, since you have given the floor to the representative from WPX, I'd like to just ask one quick question. How could you possibly know what was in the water in the 1700s?
Because it's well documented in the state records. And
In the 1700s?
Yes, there is, and there's
Okay.
documentation from the Department of Natural Resources that that shows that the methane existed back in the 1700s.
Pauline, you got one more?
The emergency management office put this together.
Yeah, Charlene was behind this, yes.
She did a wonderful job.
Yes, she did. Yes.
I'd like to ask for a short pension board meeting for the purpose of rehiring our consultant until these other people that you're looking at can try and put something acceptable together. In this unstable economic climate, I'm just very concerned that we have no professional people watching out for our investments and our well-being. And this has been 6 months we've been without them. I have absolutely no objection to looking for something else. I personally am very happy with them, but if you folks are not comfortable, but in the meantime, I think it's just totally irresponsible for us to just sit on our hands while we're waiting for somebody to try and put something together that's acceptable. You wouldn't quit your job without having something else lined up, but yet we've terminated a consultant with no cause, no listed cause that I could see. They've been doing a good job. They were terminated, as far as I'm concerned, based on misstatements, misconceptions, misunderstandings. And they have done a good job for us. We are doing as well as any other county in Pennsylvania with our investments. So I would ask that we could do that.
Say we can't do it, it's not proper notice, but I agree with part of what she says. And what I would suggest as an alternative is to properly notice a special meeting with the appropriate notice that is required to address your concerns, because I have the same concerns.
Okay, but let me ask you this.
Can't do it
Why-
today.
But at the beginning, we had said whenever there was a need, the other meetings would follow the commissioners' meeting. That was stated
Well,
before,
I-
so I
that-
believe we can have a meeting.
Well,
I think
don't
as
agree.
needed, I think that's what,
And I think it's needed.
I agree, we do need a meeting, but I do not agree that we can have it today.
And
And that's my opinion, and that's, you can ask the other two, but.
why can't we have it? I
It's
don't
not been,
understand.
it's not, I'm not
It
gonna
was
debate it
published,
with
it
you.
was published at the beginning of the year when it was first set out, that what meetings we were having.
I think Marion will just get the document to see what it said.
So how long would you say, if we didn't do it today, how long would it be?
Just has to be advertised.
As soon as it can be legally advertised with notice.
Sorry. No, thank you, Mary, I appreciate that.
motion by Commissioner Jean Greco to schedule the Board of Commissioner meetings the second and fourth Wednesday of each month at 9 o'clock with the Salary Board, Retirement Board, and Election Board to meet before, during, or after the regularly scheduled Commissioner meetings as is necessary and/or required.
I think the only requirement is that the members of the board have 24
Have
hours
24
notice. Is
hours
that not a
notice, I think is
requirement,
what.
is what I understood.
I don't know, does it say that somewhere?
I think it says.
That's
in
what
the
I learned
county-
from Mike, show me the statute.
In the county code, I think it says that.
I don't disagree with what she says, it's
Oh,
gotta
no,
get
we-
done, and
we
I,
need to do
and that, sooner the better, and I
Okay, then-
suggested a special meeting.
Then would
Upon proper
someone
notice.
please,
We'll get a special meeting scheduled, find out what we gotta do to get it advertised, and we'll
Absolutely.
have it as quickly as possible.
thank you, because I don't like us just
I
sitting,
don't either.
doing no,
I agree with you.
absolutely nothing. And at least they can, you know,
Okay.
somebody can touch it and move stuff, whereas you
Yeah.
can't right now.
Yes, Bruce.
When you schedule this special meeting, could you put it on the website so we don't have to buy a Scranton paper? Or
I'll take care of
somehow
that.
get the word
I'll
out?
take care of that, I can get it there.
Okay,
Thank you.
Thank you.
all right. Motion to adjourn.
Yeah.
I also want to say, I want to respond to Ms. Oliver, I am not alleging violations. They're on the DEP site, they're clearly stated, and they're casing violations and spill violations for 2 townships. So I don't consider that an alleging. Thank you.
Motion to adjourn,
Second.
second, all
Aye.
in favor, aye? We are adjourned.
9:29.
Put this back.
Should be able to
Yeah.
questions about.
Take it with me.
I have that. Looking at your meet with Dan and explain everything.
How are you?
Yeah.